Hey everyone, welcome to week 4, Build for Bronze. We're coming up to the end of the month, so I'm really excited for you all to be here this last week of our 30-day Build for Bronze run. So to start off this training, let's start with where we want to be at this stage of the game. And I realized that last week, these numbers, I actually changed them to be the same. So last week, the numbers were needed to be lower than this. So if you did aspire to get to these numbers last week, you're good to go for this week. Last week, they only needed to be half of the total. And remember, total team building rewards for the month needs to be 300. So last week would have been 150. This week you want to be up to $225 in TBRs. And you can watch week 2, which will show you exactly where to see that and how to find what your TBRs are in the back office. And then group volume, we want to be up to 2,250 points. By now. Last week we wanted to be up to 1,500, which was half of the 3,000 that we need to reach the rank of bronze. And remember, for that, only 1,500 can come from any one group. And then we want 2 customers by now, and we would love to have our 3 personal enrollments. That's what we need for bronze for the month. And we're nearing the end of the month, so it's great to right now have your 3 on board. If you've only got 2, that's okay. You've got 1 more week to get your 3rd person for bronze. So remember, for bronze TBRs, we want 300. They just lowered that requirement from 500 to 300, which is incredible. We want a total of 3,000 group volume by the end of the month, 2 customers and 3 personal enrollments. So really important to know where you must be so you can keep your eye on the prize and set your goals, right? Hold them in your awareness, hold them in your mindset. Remember, mindset is 80% of this journey. So today, as we're nearing the end of this Build for Bronze run, and remember, we say this every week, but we want to support as many of our people, our new people, and the people who haven't gotten to bronze yet to get to bronze within their first 30 days. New people especially, first 30 days, plug them into drerinpollinger.com/freedom. Have them do those 4 steps. The 4th step is the Build for Bronze training on the Freedom Community Facebook page. Really important to get people plugged into that system so they right away get to this Build for Bronze training and then watch the 4 weeks that will support them to get from where they are, which is just beginning, to where they desire to be, which after you coach them will be bronze within the first 30 days. So I'm gonna grab my notebook here just to make sure I don't miss anything. If you're not quite there yet, if you've gone through the whole run, been here every week, watched the videos, and for one reason or another, you're just not close to bronze, I wanna remind everybody to be gentle with yourself. It's great to have a goal, it's great to have an aspiration, but what's more important than actually hitting the rank is who is it that you're becoming as you are aspiring to achieve that rank. That's the most important thing, and I want to remind you, if you're feeling kind of defeated or disappointed that you haven't gotten to where you want to be at this point, be gentle with yourself. Really honor those feelings of hopelessness or feeling that like you can't do it or feeling like you're a failure. We all feel that way at some point or another in this business. So I want to say that it's okay. It's okay. First, love those parts, be with those parts, and then refocus on what it is that you are committing to here. Because remember, reaching the rank of bronze, reaching any rank for that matter, really requires a commitment and a decision and showing up daily. So as far as, along the lines of showing up daily, a little recap of the Build for Bronze month. So if it is you that I'm speaking to that isn't quite there and you're wondering why, there's a few things to look at. We covered in week 1 how important it is to first know where you are and know where you must be. Also, the importance of weekly check-ins. So if you haven't been doing the consistent weekly check-ins with your upline, maybe remind them that you want these. Or if you're an upline listening, really make sure you're doing these consistent weekly check-ins with your people who you're coaching to bronze. And there's a great PDF about the weekly check-ins in week 1. Also in week 1, you find the action steps. So really important, if you're not where you want to be, have you been outreaching to 5 to 10 people a day? Have you been honing your skills on prospecting, watching week 1 Go for Gold? Have you been using the app to send videos? Have you been sending my presentation that's pre-recorded for you, overview of the oil in the business? Have you been getting people on the phone with your upline to do 3-way calls? Really important to keep filling yourself with the knowledge and the wisdom that's required to be successful here. Doing those action steps every single day. Are you doing in-homes? Have you gotten your launch call done yet? Or if you're an upline, have you scheduled the launch call for those that are new in your business that are building for bronze? These are things that we tend to overlook because we're all busy. But if you really desire to be successful here, you will treat this business as you do any career, as you do any high-level job. Most people don't treat network marketing as that, and therefore most people fail. And so it takes persistence, it takes consistency, it takes showing up every single day to get from where you are to where you desire to be. It's how I did it, right? I still was a chiropractor, single mother, coach, building retreat center in Costa Rica in the beginning, but I plugged in on my breaks. I slept less, I ate less. I didn't stop until I had my big builders. I just kept going because I was fueled and pumped at the idea of the life I had created for myself in my imagination. I'm a really good imaginator. I'm a really good creator. And I can see what I want my life to look like. And I don't want to stop until I've created that, because I know it's within all of our power to do so. So the action steps, the weekly check-ins, the audios, which we went through in week 2, busting through your blocks, really fine-tuning your mindset. So a lot of reasons why people won't succeed here is because they have limiting beliefs and limiting thoughts that hold them stuck where they are. Limiting beliefs around the industry, around the product, around the leadership, around the company, around yourself, around money. There's so many places to have limiting beliefs. Week 2, we go over the audios. Do those audios, listen to them. I'm listening to audios so much these days, and it's just fascinating what's happening. And then we've got week 3, overcoming objections. That's a huge part of this. If you're prospecting and you're making the calls and you're scheduling the meetings and you're sending the presentations and you're getting people on 3-way calls, then you're going to be following up. At that follow-up mark, you're going to be coming up against objections. Of course, we don't want to expect them. Intention is everything, like we went over last week. But they will arise. And so week 3, learning how to overcome those objections and be more in your power and be more attractive in that way so that you can close these people and really get them ushered into the business. So, right, of course, if you haven't watched the Build for Bronze videos, watch 1, 2, and 3. Doing the Go for Gold videos that the Build for Bronze training guides you to on my drerinpollinger.com/freedom page. Doing like in week 1 in Go for Gold, you get the whole checklist of what is required. Honing in your mindset with the tools on my Dr. Erin Pollinger page. Feeding your knowledge and wisdom by becoming educated through the ways that we direct you to. Then, of course, the action, and then, of course, pleasure and self-care. Self-care is huge. If you really wanted to get to bronze, and want is always a lack word. So if you did choose to get to bronze by the end of this month and you're not close, look at everything I've spoken about so far, but also look at your self-care. Look at what are your habits, what are your patterns, how much time a day are you spending on Facebook, how much time a day are you watching TV, or are you doing activities that aren't getting you from where you are to where you desire to be. Self-care, being in your pleasure, getting fueled, working out, doing yoga, meditating, whatever floats your boat to get you energized and in your pleasure, critical. So there's all these different pieces that create success here within Prime My Body and of course in your life. So again, don't feel bad. Well, you can feel bad. I mean, we feel that way. We're human. You can feel defeated and disappointed and discouraged. That's part of the journey. Be with those feelings, love them, and then recommit today. Even as you're watching this Zoom or watching this recording, you get to recommit and say, okay, it's the start of a month. A new month in 7 days, 6 days, wherever we're at. 7 days, I believe. Maybe even 8 days. Okay, great. New month is going to start. I'm going to commit to doing it. Or you can use this day as the first day of your month and recommit in the next 30 days to getting to bronze. Right? There's my will and there's thy will. Having a clear goal with a specific timeline is always great. But then remembering that just because it hasn't happened yet doesn't mean that it won't happen for you. So this is really important for us all to understand. And one more thing before we open it to Q&A is really looking at in the beginning within your business, because a lot of people put more energy out than they receive back in the beginning of a network marketing business. I know I did in my first few months. I was working a lot and putting a lot in and spending a lot of energy without getting as much back. And I would get a little bit discouraged about that from time to time. And what I learned was that the more I was giving my gifts within my business, with my coaching calls, with my Zooms, with, just really being with the people that I had ushered into the business, in-home presentations, I was finding was one of my gifts. The more I was giving my gifts within this company from the beginning, the more inspired I felt, the more energized and motivated I felt to keep going. Even when I wasn't monetarily getting compensated as much as I was desiring. So really ask yourself the question, what would really motivate me to keep going? Like, what would I do all day long and not get paid for it? Would I coach? Would I speak? Would I train? Would I make videos? Like, what would you do, right? And maybe it's none of those. Maybe it's something else that you would do all day long and not get paid for it. Because in the beginning, that's what's going to keep you going. And asking for the support that you need, especially from the one who's mentoring you and guiding you through this 30 days, the weekly check-ins, and having someone to hold you accountable and to nurture you and love you up and support you and inspire you and excite you as you go through the journey, really, really critical.
My name is Kiana Crema. I'm in Boulder, Colorado, and I am a Black Diamond affiliate with PrimeMyBody. I've been with the company for coming up on 2 years now, and it has been such a major life transformational experience for me on really all levels: emotional, mental, physical, spiritual, financial. When this showed up for me, I was in probably an all-time low in my life. I was going through a massive transition. I had hit a major financial crisis where I basically went from having a very good income to having zero income overnight. And that put me in a place of some serious hardship because I wasn't prepared for that. And really sent me on a journey of diving inward to figure out what was next. What did I need to do, right, to get out of that place? It was a tough spot. I jokingly say I was a total hot mess in that moment about 2 years ago. But there's a lot of reality in that, right? I was overcome with anxious feelings and worry thoughts and just stress and tension in my body on a regular basis. So a lot to be dealing with, right? And inside of that, though, just really still hanging on to my faith, to my trust, to my belief that there was something in this for me. There was a gift for me to receive out of this hardship that I was facing. And ultimately, it ended up being PrimeMyBody and the incredible nano-enhanced hemp oil that we have. So I got invited to come to a meeting. It was actually at Dr. Erin Pollinger's home in Ashland, Oregon. And I got to hear all about the products, hear about the company, get to meet the community, but most importantly, I got to experience the oil. And in, I would say, about 10 minutes, I had such a profound shift in my personal experience that I really had to pause and go, whoa, what just happened? Because all of those anxious feelings and thoughts and tension just started to disappear, melt away. And I really found myself in a place where I was feeling calm and clear and connected and having some space, feeling some, some hope, right? Feeling some opportunity that was emerging for me. And looking around the room that day and seeing the really incredible community that was there, visionaries, light workers, healers, mamas, like people who really had this drive, this real purposeful mission and drive to make the world a better place, and were starting to make money in the business, right? And this is an opportunity. There's definitely no guarantees of anything, but I saw that it was happening for other people, and I realized that it could happen for me as well. So saying yes to this totally has changed everything. Being on the oil on a regular basis has just continued to bring me clarity and focus and a depth of connection, real groundedness in my body that allows me to move through life with so much more ease and so much more grace and so much more flow, which are really, it's been my mantra for 7-8 years, flow, grace, and ease, like in all that I do. And in many ways I was experiencing that, but it just has become so much more true using this oil on a regular basis. And then having this incredible opportunity to build a business through the sharing of this product, through supporting other people to have this type of experience has totally transformed everything for me. I very quickly built a business that it was far surpassed my original dreams and imagination of what was possible here. And so now I'm in this place where every day I challenge myself to dream bigger, to think bigger, to expand my limits and my possibilities and know that anything is possible here. And that's a big part of what the freedom community is, really celebrating that we are limitless and what we can achieve when we believe in that, when we set ourselves into that. And so having the coaching and the support that Dr. Erin provides in that space to, every week remind us that yes, we're human, and yes, we can face these challenges, and yes, we can, have hard times, but we also have the tools, the ability, the resource to transform them and to overcome them and to move into something that allows us to really experience those unlimited possibilities. That's what I'm the most grateful for myself. So thank you so much for watching this. I hope that you found something important here for you, and that you find a connection to come and be in this incredible community on one way or another, because there's so much to offer here.